most politicians start local, school board, district, city council, mayor, and then continue on to state and federal positions. So that's why we work so hard to get strong Second Amendment supporters in the local offices. Rhonda Shader, current mayor of Placentia, is running for state senate. So how pro-2A is she? Let's find out next.
But first, did you know Leo Business just doesn't sell jewelry, but they also buy jewelry? That's Leo Hamill we're talking about. His friendly jewelry buyers will buy your jewelry, diamonds, gold, silver, flatware, coins, Swiss watches for the best possible price and pay you on the spot. They even buy broken jewelry or watches that don't work. Why not sell the jewelry or watch that you're not wearing and get money to buy a gun that you can shoot? When you sell to Leo Hamills, not only will you get the best possible prices for your valuables, you'll also be supporting the Second Amendment. Support the companies that support the Second Amendment. Call 619-299-1500, or you can visit them on their website at leohamill.com to find the jewelry buyer location near you. Always get awesome service at Leo's. Call 619-299-1500. All right, our very special guest calling in, Rhonda Shader. She is the mayor of Placentia, and she's a candidate for State Senate District 34. Welcome to the show, Rhonda.
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you, too. And we're sitting here having all kinds of fun. We've even got Amy Rickard in. She's running for county supervisor here in San Diego. And it's just, gosh, I didn't think this show was going to be any more bubblier. Now we got you.
That's right. You know what? The women bring it. What can we say?
Well, she has her slogan is she's called Mama Bear. And I think they've got them fired up. So she's on a rampage, and she's made a major impact here in San Diego. So you're sitting there all happy. You're the mayor of Placentia. Everything's going good. What made you want to jump?
Well, I tell you, I have a great respect for leaders that are willing to step up in politics, because that's what makes our form of government work. And I sat around for many years saying, why can't we get better candidates? Why can't we get better people to step up? And then, of course, one day you have to look in the mirror and say, okay, well, if I'm going to keep saying that, maybe it's me. And I've really enjoyed my time in local government and made a big impact on my community. And when the redistricting of maps came up, the door kind of opened before me to step through in this new Senate district, because it's brand new. They created it. The incumbent that I'm running against only had about 25% of this, and he had no opponent. And you know what? That's not okay. People need to know that there's a different way to look at government constitutionally, and they need to have other choices. And I heard our friend speaking earlier, and if we don't have good people in the right places, if there is a wave, and if the people do stand up for something different this election cycle, we got to have people on the ballot. We have to give them a choice to vote for. And so I decided that I would be that person this time and step up.
So this is great. What an exciting show here.
I'm telling you,
It's
man.
great having people like this, knowing they're there. That's so good. Rhonda, you're a small business owner, right?
I am. I have an insurance company, and I have a coaching business.
So how did you go from small business into council member, then mayor, and now hopefully on to senator?
Well, it really started through the Chamber of Commerce. I got involved networking for my business, and I'm a community-oriented person. And as I served on the chamber and became the chamber president, I started making friends at the, in local government that were involved as well. And they were always recruiting great people for commissions. And so I started first on the Economic Development Commission in the city, and then I moved to being on the Police Chiefs Advisory Committee. And from there, it just kept moving up. My city needed help, and things were going wrong, and I thought, I guess I got to get on the inside and figure out what the problem is, and see if I can help. And so you just kind of walk through one door, and then the next door, and then the next door, and not a lot of people can keep going. It takes I don't know, a certain wherewithal, maybe a gift to overcome some of the bad stuff in politics. But you can have a lot of impact, and you can make people's lives a lot better, has been my experience, if you do the work. There you go, from one thing to the next thing.
Well, and I think what I see is interesting, and very dynamic women are stepping up and taking the role, which I think is amazing. Is that me? Is that just me, or do you see more and more women getting involved in politics?
Well, absolutely. And I mean, maybe it starts, at least for me, that I became an entrepreneur. So I became kind of a business leader in my community first and got that confidence. And then, one of the most interesting things is that women need to be encouraged to run. So if you see somebody that's got that gift of consensus building, of leadership courage, if you see those qualities in someone, you've got to encourage them to step up, because women need to be encouraged. We need to know we're going to add value, because we've got a lot of things to do. And if we're going to put our time and energy in something, we got to know we can make a difference. We have to feel that. Mm-hmm. And so I do a lot of that for other women as well that I see, because women before me did it for me. And when I got in there and started doing the work, I realized they were right. I do like this. I am good at this. And, it doesn't hurt to have a woman at the table. We bring some different characteristics that I think really can make things work well. I'm on a council with 4 other men. They're fantastic. They show me a great deal of respect. We work together great. I'm able to be a consensus builder and a collaborator with them. And we've just gotten a ton of stuff done together in Placentia.
Well, I personally think it's not so much the gender, it's the person. Yeah, I don't care if you're purple, black, green, orange, male, female. It doesn't make any difference. It's like putting a football team together. If you put the right players on the field, it doesn't make any difference what their backgrounds are or how much money they make. If they all can gel and get the job done, that's the key. And I'm so excited to have you on air. Gosh, I wish I could vote in your area, but I'm too far away. I'm out in the woods.
Well, I gotta tell you, the gun owners have been a friend to me from the very beginning. Wow. Michael Swartz reached out when I was running in 2016.
Yep.
And he started making contact with me, and we became fast friends. And I was endorsed by them. And let me tell you something, a lot of us in politics, we don't run around bragging about our gun owner support, but it's there. And when I was at events and when I was out in public, they would find me and they would say, "We know you're our person and we believe in you." And they brought me checks. They delivered.
Sure.
And they supported me. And I know that will continue. And it's so funny. I decided to run in this spot kind of last minute, in the last probably month. And Michael called me out of the blue because he's looking for, who are the good candidates here in Orange County. Mm-hmm. And so him and I like to talk about that, and I said, "You're not going to believe what I have for you today, Michael, what I've decided now." But I got to tell you, when I research the guy I'm running against and I look at the platform of the Democrat Party and what they have planned in terms of gun ownership and just decimating the Second Amendment, I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that.
Right. Well, and it's so funny. I don't know if you know the history of Michael, but he was a banker. I mean, he was doing quite well. He had a really good job. And then one day he said, "Enough." And he did the same thing you did. He did the same thing Amy did. He just said, enough is enough. We got to make a difference. And Joe and I have been with him pretty much, since the beginning. and it has grown. Concealed carry is up. What are we up to now?
About 6279, I think, and they'll update it probably another 200 here.
And I think we had
shortly.
like 1,500 for God only knows how long in a city of 3 million. So we got a long way to go, and it goes as a group, and with like-minded people like yourself, with Amy, that get in there, get dirty, get down, and just get the people out of there that don't care about California. I mean, that's really the bottom line. If you don't care about California, move.
Well, they don't care about individual rights.
True, that too. Yeah.
You know, as you read through it, you're just like, you know, it's guns, it's healthcare, it's housing, it's everything. They just want to take a lot of things away, and they think the government can do everything, and the opposite just couldn't be more true.
Well, and I think folks like you, folks like Amy, I mean, Amy's been going to our Board of Supervisors meeting. How long have you been doing that?
Oh, for the past, ever since they reopened, which was May of 2021.
And she talks to a sheriff there. She goes, by the way, you know, do you normally have this many people come to the Board of Supervisor meeting? No, this is insane. I've never seen this many people at a board. And she started with 5. And what are you up to now when you go?
We have tens of thousands of people who support Reopen San Diego, but we did have historic numbers. Over 200 people show up to the Board of Supervisors.
That's what I say. Don't mess with the mama bear. You're going to get yourself in all kinds of trouble. All right, can you hang with us for another segment?
Absolutely. That'd be great.
Good. All right. Folks, PRMI Mortgage. PrimeRes.com/Alpine. Are you in the military? Are you looking for help with a VA loan? Well, if you're looking to buy or refi, or if you're just considering a reverse mortgage, call our local mortgage guy that you can trust. Call Chris Wiley at PRMI Mortgage. For nearly 25 years, Chris has been helping local San Diegans with all their mortgage needs. Give Chris Wiley a call at 619-722-1303 or primeres.com/Alpine. All right, we got Rhonda Shader on the line. She is running for, let me double check my notes so I don't get messed up.
California State Senate.
District 34. So Rhonda, where is District 34?
Well, I've got 9 cities in District 34. I've got just about all of Santa Ana, Anaheim, a little bit of Garden Grove and Orange, a little bit of my city in Placentia, Fullerton, Buena Park, La Habra, and a little bit of Whittier.
Oh, you sound like you've got a nice area to play with.
I'm looking for friends in Santa Ana, I can tell you that right now.
I was going to say, you got some challenges, but, I mean, it sounds to me like you're up for it.
Well, absolutely. And let me tell you something. The district I have here in Placentia has the same exact demographics of the cities I just told you about. So I love those people. Many of them are gun owners. They surprised me.
Yeah.
When I was in their neighborhood.
Well, we keep it quiet.
I'm sure that's right.
Yeah, we keep it quiet. I mean, it's terrible that we're doing that, but we, until we find out you're like-minded, we just do keep it to ourselves.
Well, you've got to, because otherwise you're just talking to a wall, probably, right?
Right.
You got to talk to people who are open to talking.
So how are you doing on the campaign? As far as volunteers, I'm sure you're still looking for more, maybe some.
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started. So I'm getting everything set up, making contacts with people, meeting people in their neighborhoods, doing lots of fundraising, of course. Because, to get the message out, I've got 400,000 registered voters in this district. So, it takes a lot of money to get the word out to them that they have a choice. And so I'll be working hard on that. I will go on to the November general election because there's only 2 of us. So we'll be in the primary in June, but I'll automatically go on. So
Gotcha.
I do have a little bit of time.
So how has been the reception? I know it's short notice, but I mean, have you been have you been well accepted? I mean, people open arms, that type of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. I think people have a lot of respect for what I've done in Placentia. I've done some pretty amazing things with the team there, and people in this area are well aware of it. And they'd love to see what I could do up there. I'm definitely a legislative wonk. I've been following legislation the whole time I've been in office. I understand how it works and what the nuances are. And that's kind of what you do up there. You know, Sacramento pumps out 2,500 about laws a year. Can you even imagine?
Not even.
Well, I mean, the good news is about half of them are to fix the mistakes they've made, is what I've learned, you know, because they just push stuff out there without really giving it much thought. So, you know, I'm hoping to change all that. I can't change everything, but I can do my part. And I've talked to some friends that are up there doing the work now. And, you know, I think you've seen some of the conservatives have found a way to make a difference and to rattle the cage. And even though there's a minority up there, but I'll tell you, I talked to the Senate minority leader, Scott Wilk, up there, and, you know, there's only 9 of them. And there's 29 Democrats. And he said, man, we'd love to have you up here. Let's figure out how to make it happen. You know, if we can chip away at that super majority, it'll make a big difference.
And that's just what I was going to ask you, Rhonda, about, because you talked about consensus building a few minutes ago. And I was just going to ask you, you know, what's your approach to that? Because, again, 29 Democratic senators, 9 Republicans, and, you know, they're not necessarily open to discussion and things like that. So how do you approach that coming from, where you're going to be coming from?
Yeah, you'd be surprised. You know, even as I look at the Democrat platform, you know, there's some things that you might say, okay, you know, we might all agree on that, but there's other things where you're going to have to say, I don't agree on that. And I'm certainly not afraid to vote my conscience ever. I have a ton of leadership courage. You probably don't know this about me, but I went up against one of the biggest unions in the area. And that's okay. I mean, we have to do the right thing. You have to fight for what's right. But on your way to get there, you try to bring people along as much as possible. And I think that you'd be surprised. There's a lot more discussion in Sacramento than you'd think. But, of course, there's times that we all hear about in the media when it's, you know, polarizing opposite ends of the spectrum. So I don't know. I'll let you know when I get there.
Yeah, it seems like, you know, that's great to hear. You know, there is discussion up there because, I mean, it's hard. We were talking about this a little bit earlier. You know, it's you want to not get discouraged out here with all the stuff that we see, and especially Second Amendment wise. You know, just a lot of just bad stuff, I guess. But and we were talking a little bit earlier about the SB 906, the bill that's proposed to have parents, you know, be required to disclose to the schools, you know, their gun ownership, what they own, how they store it, where they store it. And it's hard to imagine there was intelligent, rational discussion going on there, and that still is alive, I guess. It's hard to see why you would want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to ask a lot of questions. And I was told by a legislator up there recently, you know, what happens is they get somebody, you know, somebody comes in your office when you're up there and says, hey, will you run this bill? Because you know, one kid died when another kid got their parents' gun and they were messing around with it. And so now we have to have a law about it. And you have to ask questions around it. Well, what happened? What does that mean? Who needs the help, the gun or the kid that went and got the gun? You know, it's just, you got to walk your way around it. But at the end of the day, sometimes these people run this. This is what's going to happen. They run it, and then they realize, oh, shoot, we didn't do it the right way. And then there's going to be a bill the next time to fix what they screwed up. Because they don't ask good questions. They just run it as a favor to people. And that's the people you're electing, you know, to be up there. So that's why I feel like we have to fight so hard. And someone like me has to say, you know what, I'm willing to go. But if I'm willing to go for all of us, then I need everybody to get behind me and say, okay, even though she's an underdog, we're all going to throw in a few bucks. We're going to give her endorsements. We're going to do what it takes to try and get better people up there. Because let me tell you something, they're doing that on the other side.
Oh, yeah. Do you see a change? Do you see a wave changing? I mean, let's face it, the last 2.5, 3 years has been devastating. A lot of people are more aware of what's going on in government. Like Amy was talking about, prior to the last couple of years, nobody went to the city council meetings or the board of supervisor meetings or the school board meetings. And by people going, folks like Amy anyway, she's seen a reason to jump into the pond and make a definite change. Do you see a change in Sacramento to where you may change that from 23 to 9? Do you see a change coming?
I hope so. We were talking about it, and sometimes the wave starts with the federal elections. It'll start in other states, and sometimes there's as you guys know, a really tall fence around California, and sometimes we don't get the wave. But I hope it penetrates, because let me tell you something. I don't know if everybody still realizes this, but we're still in a state of emergency.
Oh, I know. I know. It's crazy.
I don't know how much longer he can keep this going, but I think people are starting to raise their eyebrow, and especially what's going on at the gas pumps right now. And they're just saying, you know what, maybe we've let things get a little out of control here,
So let's send them $400. That'll fix it.
Yeah, in gift cards. Because, that's going to help. Yeah. All of us are going to get our mail stolen. We realize that, right?
I'm telling you, I'd like to see everybody just get that gift card and put it in the mail and send it back to them.
Right.
You're not, do the right thing. Don't placate me with a gift card, for goodness sakes. God.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. And, the Republican minority had a press conference, and, I was actually up there a few weeks ago, and they came out in front of the Capitol and said, look, let's use some of this surplus you say we have, replace the money, no money lost to the government, and give the people a tax break for a while, and then just bring it back in. Everybody will know what the rules are. And, they had to come up with their own ideas. Because they don't want to get in the way of their empire building up there.
Well, of course not. Yeah, no, it's crazy. So you've got a lot. You're putting a lot on your plate. It sounds to me like you're definitely up for the challenge. So if people want to help you, what's the best way to do it?
Absolutely. Right now, I'm mostly on social media at Shader, the number 4 Senate. That's on Facebook and Instagram, both. And then my website's being built right now, which will be Shader FOR for Senate. You can find me there. And then, of course, I'm the mayor of Placentia. It's not too hard to find me. Just Google. My cell phone's out there. But, I really appreciate your support. I appreciate the organization's effort to protect that Second Amendment, because it's eroding for sure.
Sure. Well, we're thrilled to have you on, and I'm glad you have a great relationship with Michael. That means you'll be back on more often, and we'll do whatever we can at our end to help just, at least if nothing else, get the word out, because that's what it's going to take. The more you get the word out, the better off it'll be.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for having me. Good talking to you today.
Thanks for watching this clip from Gun Owners Radio. You can watch us live every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, right here on our YouTube channel, or if you're in the San Diego area, you can listen to us on 1170 a.m. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform for free. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can help restore and protect the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.